Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the East to West Coast Hockey Podcast. All right, welcome to part 3 of our hockey podcast. And this is our fantasy hockey talk. And we're going to come in and just go over who's hot, who's not, what goalies are playing, who we think, which teams are going to be winning tonight. We're going to do some predictions. And we're just going to talk about random fantasy hockey. So if you're into fantasy leagues and you want to like and subscribe to stay in touch with us and what we're doing, you can do that. But I would like to kick off just by talking about who's playing tonight. We got a Toronto Maple Leafs and Florida game. Patrick, who do you think is going to win tonight between this potential playoff rival?
I think it's going to be a great game. This is going to be a goaltender battle, I think, tonight. Bobrovsky can play really good some nights. Nights it's played really bad. Samson's pretty consistent, but Toronto's been hot lately. Matthews on fire. Let's see if he can continue the streak tonight. Tavares also playing well. And, I mean, Nylander's another guy that's just been hot. So, I mean, if they can keep it going, I think Florida's in trouble. But we'll see what happens after. I mean, like I said, Bobrovsky, hot and cold goalie, but he can play lights out some nights. With the Toronto Maple Leafs playing the way they are right now, I think you might see a high scoring game. But I'm sticking with Toronto in this one.
You got Toronto winning tonight?
Yep.
Okay, that's a big, bold prediction for Toronto fans. Who's hurting? Is anybody hurt in Florida? They got a full roster?
I think they pretty much back together, yeah. I don't think anybody's hurt. Kind of impressed that Matthew Tkachuk's playing as good as he was too, because I thought he'd be a little more tender after the injury he suffered. But he seems to be rolling pretty good.
They got him down on the second line tonight, which is kind of a surprise.
Well, I mean, that Reinhardt line has been playing pretty good. And then you got to worry. You got him on the power play anyway.
Sam Bennett's out.
He'll be back shortly, I think. I don't think he's going to be out very long. Ekblad out probably for a while. But their team's pretty much together. Reinhardt's more of like a high end. He's playing good. He played good there last year. Kind of an underrated player. Also in the power play as well with them. So I mean, you're gonna have their opportunities. It's whoever takes the more penalties. I think tonight it's gonna cause the biggest one. But if they're gonna start fighting and stuff, who's gonna fight for? I mean, Tkachuk will probably fight. Just what he does. Gets on everybody's skin. Everybody just wants to pound his head in. But he has that effect on people. But he can score too. That's the other thing. So if he's on the ice, they can take him off. Toronto can get him off the ice. I mean, a lot less opportunity for them to score if he's not playing.
Yeah.
But then you got Bertuzzi and you got Reeves. Put a lot of physical play in that team now, and Domi. So we'll see what happens tonight. I think it's gonna be a rough game, but I think Toronto definitely beats them. I think they score at least 5.
Yeah, all right. Game 2, we have Vancouver and Tampa. What are you thinking on who wins this game?
Well, I think Stamkos is still out, so that's a big blow for them.
He is listed day to day. He was in practice last night. Yesterday he joined practice. I have him on my team, and he's in. So his day to day is gone.
Okay, well that changes things.
So expected to return Thursday versus Vancouver.
Yep.
So now I got to find somebody to drop on my team. Put him back in. But I got a couple hours, so 3 hours to puck drop. I'll think about that in a little bit.
Yep.
So Stamkos is going to be back in the lineup tonight.
Okay. Now that Tampa's just rolling 2 goalies. There's not really a guy that's taken a lead yet. So I mean, it's only early. But I think Demko's been playing really good. I think you might see him have a bounce back year this year. Doesn't try. I don't know. They Vancouver struggled last year a lot, and it seemed like their top guys weren't being their top guys. And I think they've started off the season pretty good this year. So we'll see what happens with those guys. I think Vancouver gives them a run. It could be a close game, but I think Tampa might take the win.
So they got this goalie. He let in 11 goals in 3 games. He's got a 3.71 goals against on 92 shots, or 103 shots. He is 92 saves. Um, yeah,
I think
I
this.
think Vancouver's gonna pepper this goalie tonight,
You
and
think so?
I think Vancouver's gonna come out with a win.
I think it's going to be
Um,
Tampa this one. I think it's going to be like a 3-2 game.
I don't rely. I can't. Uh, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 5-2 game for Vancouver tonight. I've been watching the Tampa a little bit. I watched Detroit school them, and I think they can run and gun. I think Tampa can score with Kucherov and Stamkos. Hagel's having a great season. He's starting
Yeah,
out.
he's been playing good.
That was a bit of surprise for me when I actually went and looked up Hagel's stats. I was just like, oh, okay. I mean, he's sitting up here with 5 points, 4 goals, and an assist, 14
Yep.
shots. It's pretty impressive for this kid.
So anybody's looking for anybody for a league, I mean, he might be a guy to grab. I see he's a free agent here, so
Yeah.
might be a good guy to pick up as a left winger if
Now,
you need a guy.
he also scored 2 goals while Stamkos was out. He was playing on that top
Mhm.
line this last
Yep.
game. So I think he's getting moved in the lineup tonight. I think he's down in. Oh, he's on the second line. Okay.
He's going to be like with Stamkos, and you got to look at his stat points are going to be also good to have. If you're looking to fill some stats, he's definitely a guy you want to maybe look at for a game or two.
So I think this guy's going to get knocked off the lineup tonight. I don't think this kid. I think because Stamkos is back in, I don't think this lineup is correct. I think we'll see Stamkos on the second line or on the first line where he's been playing. I don't see him here. I think just after reading this that he's been reassigned to the AHL.
Mm-hmm. Syracuse
Oh no, this is
Crush.
super old news. Never mind. I take that back. Oh, of course I closed it. Anyway, yeah, I can't rely on that. Let me daily face off. Well, not Daily Mail. Let's bring back the goalies starting tonight. I do have an edge on Vancouver just because they're playing backup goalies in Tampa. And I think Vancouver's got a decent power play. So if Tampa can't stay out of the box, I put my money on Vancouver over Tampa tonight as well.
Also, just shout out to Daily Pays Off. Good site to have to keep an eye on where you're looking for a school. Always starts. They'll usually confirm it pretty early. Like I said, Andre was saying earlier in our episodes, we're going to have this stuff posted on our site as well. That's in progress as well. So you'll be able to tune into ours and you'll see the same kind of thing. You'll have an indication of who's playing what nights and with confirmed starts and stuff like that. But thanks to Daily Fantasy or sorry, Daily Face Off, gives us some more info on that kind of stuff too. So we're using them as the moment.
Um, the next game, Nashville versus the Rangers. I got my money on the Rangers. I
Yeah,
think
I'm with you.
Predators are in a slump and they need a win.
Well,
Nashville's going to be desperate with the losses they just had, but I think the Rangers are a superior team. I think they got a better lineup. I think they
the
have
only
a.
thing with these guys is goaltending. I think Saros is good, but another player that's getting older and is probably going to get replaced again. Um, I mean, he's not even that old, really, but he's been playing real good, but then you get lit up in certain games, right? I mean, they just got pounded the other day.
I think the Rangers have three. Their top 9 players are all NHL veterans. I think they can run a solid 3 lines. Um, and then they got one of the best goaltenders in the league with Jonathan Quick as a backup. I think that was a great addition to the Rangers backup this year. I think Quick will have a lot of fun playing some backup games and not have all this pressure on him to perform as a number one goalie anymore. I think this is a great team for him to be a part
I,
of.
I have a different view of the Rangers. I feel like that's a team that I can't get excited about to play. There's some good players, but it just can't get. I don't know. There's something about that team. Maybe they're just because they haven't done it yet, but I don't know.
I,
I just feel like they can't score, and if they have a power play. They have a really good power play line, like most teams do. Most teams have a pretty good, but there's ones that are more dominant. And with this team, the lineup that they have, they should have a good power play. They have a lot of great players, and they have Patrick Kane is not even playing. I might not sign with them again, but I don't know what's going on with him and what his scenario is. I don't even think he's
um,
signed, is he?
no,
Or is he
his
out?
agent. I read about him the other night. They said his agent isn't talking to anybody until he is cleared or
Yeah,
very very close to being cleared, and then they'll start shopping. I
I
guess
can't see him signing there again.
there was the 2 teams that they're talking that has interest in him is Detroit and Buffalo.
I was gonna say, please don't say Chicago.
No, so we're looking at either he goes back to the Rangers or you could see him in a Buffalo. But if anything, I could see him wanting to go back and playing in Detroit with DeBrincat. Could you imagine
Oh, that would be interesting.
a
I just don't.
DeBrincat, Larkin, and Patrick Kane first line?
I don't. I don't know if I. I don't know. Patrick Kane seemed like he's fallen off, especially in fantasy.
Well,
Maybe
fantasy
is
wise,
a different. No, yeah. I
but I
don't. He's
mean,
not a player you want to have in a fantasy league. I mean, he can, but he's just not a stat guy. He's
no,
just
but
fallen
he
off.
was playing hurt last year, hence the surgery. I mean, you don't go in for a major surgery if you're 100%.
Hmm.
So if he's 34 years old or something like that,
But do you
33,
rebound from
34,
that injury? Like, does he play the same when he comes back?
hard to say. I wouldn't pick him up on my fantasy league, but
No.
from a
But on a team,
professional league,
yeah.
is he still going to be Patrick
I
Kane?
guess. I
Can
guess it
he
depends. It depends what
can
he wants though, for money. Is he worth taking a chance on? And that's going to be what it's going to all be about. Is somebody going to take a chance on him? I
yeah,
don't know.
money is
I did
always the question. His
hundred
salary
percent.
cap, what is going to be available?
Does
Um,
Detroit go through that and say, "Hey, we don't care. Let's spend the money," or they want to keep the guys they have, which they have a great team right now, and maybe they're re-signing some of those guys again.
well, it comes down to it could be a 1 year deal. Would you take him for a year
I think you would if you're Detroit,
just to see how
100%.
he's skating to see how?
But again, depends on the money and what they can afford. If it's not worth it to try and take a chance on him, can
Hmm,
they get somebody else that's available as a right winger to play instead of picking him up and taking a chance on? Can they get the guy for half the value and do the same amount? But I mean, and who does he replace in the power play and stuff? Does he go the second power play line, or has he got to take off somebody's top spot? And then you're screwing around with the chemistry.
Chris Kreider's having a good start to his season.
Yeah, he kind of slowed last year. He finished off a little strong, same as Zibanejad, uh, especially for fantasy. They cut a slow start last year, but they did turn it around the second half of the season, or the last part of the season, maybe the last quarter. Seemed to be pretty strong.
I still feel like they the Rangers have a playoff team. I get that they may not be an exciting club to
Oh, they
watch,
do.
but I still think that if I had to put my money on a team between two teams tonight, um, my guess would be a Ranger victory,
Oh yeah, I'm
whether
picking the
it's a
Rangers.
2-1 game or a 3-2 game. Um,
You're just not going to score that many goals on short.
no,
It's just Turkin or I just okay. I can't see it. And then the next game, oh, Buffalo's got to turn it around. Tage
they're
Thompson has been nowhere to be found. He is a ghost right now. He needs to wake up.
in fantasy anyway,
He's a
statistically
ghost.
on
He
his.
only has shots. That's all he has. He's not doing anything for that team right now. Now,
I
this
can't really
goaltender,
comment 100% on his play because I haven't watched a single Buffalo game this year.
no, me
So
either.
I can't really say that he's not doing anything for his team. But
Fantasy
I'm
wise, yes.
fantasy wise,
That's what I'm talking
he's not on the radar.
about.
Cause what do we got? He's got what 10 shots? Is
Yeah.
he still?
It could look fine though. Wait, keep going, keep going. Keep going down. He's got 12 shots, 12 shots, 3 hits. That's all he's
Yeah.
got. I mean,
So
he's played, what did they play? 3 games? Yeah, 3 games. For a guy that had so many points last year, was doing quite well. It's
well,
kind of,
he didn't actually start really well last year. I remember he got dropped, and he was in the waiver pool 3 or 4 times before Book Hockey Gino picked him up, and then Gino kept him the rest of the year. But I think Jeff had him, dropped him. Matt had him, dropped him. Somebody else picked him up, dropped him, and then he went on a 3 week like 14-point goal scoring
one of the
streak.
tear.
Yeah, and then he never stopped. He just continued to play really well for the rest of the season. So I do remember because I looked at him and when I seen him get dropped, I was like, man, I should pick him up. And I never did pick him up. And then he was up. Well, he put up 94 points last year,
Yeah.
295 shots. So um, I give the team, give the line. He's still playing with Skinner and he's still playing with Tuck. So Darlene's still Darlene. Um, so the guys he's used to playing with and the chemistry that he's used to having is still there. There's no
Yeah.
been no disruptions. So I would count him to have a big night tonight, especially against
Well,
a
against
struggling
Calgary.
Calgary.
Yeah, 100%.
And
Yeah,
I
if,
mean
if he's
Calgary's
going to do it,
desperate
now is the
too.
night.
This game I wouldn't bet on because there's no
Could
that's
go either
a
way.
coin toss. Yes, 100%. Devon Levi is a up and coming rookie goalie trying to make a name for himself. He's supposed to be pretty good. And Villard played amazing against the Oilers. Um, every time I watch him play, so that goalie is pretty reliable. I'm going to give my edge to Buffalo winning this game over Calgary. I think Buffalo has some a, a better chemistry on with the players they have. I think Darlene and Thompson can win a game versus Huberdeau and
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Buffalo in this one, and I think it's just because Tage Thompson's got to have a good night at some point, and you might have a 4 point night tonight. I can see that happen.
because who does Calgary have that's putting up points right now? Like Hannafin. So Huberdeau and Hannafin, is that
And
who's
Giappone,
you got
they're
Lindholm
just spread
second
out. They're
line?
just it's spread out scoring. They have scoring from all lines. It's not like it's anybody in particular. It's they have it spread out pretty good. There's
And they
nobody
have a
that's
new coach this year. They're learning a new strategy. They're learning everything's different in Calgary this year. So early season, I'm gonna give my money to Buffalo because they're playing a system that hasn't changed.
Yeah,
They don't have a new coach. They don't have new players. Um,
Alrighty.
Now, moving on to the Oilers, I'd like to see Campbell have another great start. He played lights out in the preseason. He had a bad showing against Vancouver. He had a great game against Nashville last night or 2 nights ago. Can he repeat that tonight? I hope so.
All
Um,
depends if he can stop the first shot.
it We're in Philly, so we're gonna have to
Uh,
weather the Philly storm. We're on the
yeah.
road. Um, but I like the changes that the coach made. I'm curious whether or not that line combo for the Oilers is going to stay Draisaitl, McDavid, and Kane. And then the second line impressed me. I love Nuge being at center. Um, their
Well, I
third
think after
line,
the game they had was it's going to change how they keep that together. I think that you can't not keep that lines together right now
no,
until it falters. I mean, you're going to have to keep that. They were just hot in the night.
yeah. And then Ekholm had a good game. He was welcome back. It was a big welcome back to Nashville. It was
Mm-hmm.
his first time playing in Nashville
Oh, okay.
since the trade. So there was a lot
Yep.
of thank you for your time and all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff.
And he's good.
Um,
I like it. I like Alcol. He's a good player.
that was probably one of the best pickups in the trade deadline for all the
Yeah.
teams for like what the Oilers were able to accomplish. That was a great pick for a
And he,
reasonable price.
yeah, he looked played good for them the last of the season there.
And then,
What we got
so
next here?
my money is on the Oilers just because you can see all my stuff behind
Well,
me and what
I
I'm
just think
wearing on my head.
if they get more if they get power plays, then 100% the Oilers. But if Philly can stay out of the box, it'll be a
How
closer game.
how is Philly on? I know Konechny's healthy,
And he's gonna be a
and
good again this year.
um, you got line combos of Philly. So Atkinson, still a great player, and I don't really. I mean, I'll have more to say about it because I'll watch the game tonight,
Yeah.
and I'll talk more on what I saw.
Well, there are a lot
But
of young guys that I haven't really paid attention to, like Tippett and Lawton or whatever. I don't really follow. I know Lawton's getting a lot of points with connecting, but that's because they're on the line.
yeah, Konechny's having another stellar start to his season. I
Yep,
mean,
very good fantasy guy to have.
he got hurt last year, and he was going to have a tremendous year until he got hurt. So, but he seems to be the only guy, really, that they're. It's a one man show. Um,
Yeah, there was a
so
lot of scoring going
it
on.
no, it's a tough league to be in. So my money's on the Oilers over
Yeah,
um, Philly tonight.
I still got
Now,
them Oilers, even if it's a close game, it'll still be the Oilers.
Now, this game I'm interested in LA versus Minnesota. How does Cam Talbot play against his ex team? And I think LA has a great top three lines that they can run. I think Minnesota has a great team. Um, I don't know if Marc Andre Fleury is the goalie that he once was.
No, but he's
Um,
definitely playing good, and this is his
but
last year.
Cam Talbot's in the same boat. Is this Cam Talbot's last year or one of? He's getting
Pretty close.
closer
I
to his
know.
end of his career as well.
Yeah, I know. Fleury, the last game he played Montreal, they gave him a standing ovation at the end of the game
Hmm.
because he was a third star, and I think he's going to be done after this year because it's possible his last game is going to play there. So they give him all a standing ovation for uh, the third star on that game. So the guy in the announcer is like, "Oh, he's more like the first star tonight." so
Nice, nice.
so you can
Yeah,
see Fleury
that's cool.
maybe go out in a bang and play pretty good for the end of the season. Now their backup goalie's great too, but I think on this one, I think I'm going Minnesota. It's going to be a close game as well. I think this one.
I'm gonna bet against you. I'm gonna put my money on LA. I think LA's got a better top six. Um, uh, Maybe not a better top six, but
It's
I
going to
think
be a
they
good
got an
game.
edge. I've watched a lot of LA versus Oilers. I haven't watched a lot of Minnesota. I kind of see what the Kings have been doing for the past couple years. They got a good, solid system. They know how they're going to play. And I'm going to say Cam Talbot wants a little revenge. And I'm going to put my money on Talbot shutting the door. I think Fleury's been full of holes the last couple years. I think LA is going to exploit them and find them. So my money's on the Kings tonight.
I
So
can
that's
mess up,
where,
but I think it's going to be an overtime game.
yeah, it could be. It could be.
They're pretty close matched.
So we got Vegas on fire, 4 straight wins. Do they make it 5?
Oh yeah. I
They're
mean,
playing
they're
against
playing
their
good.
ex goalie.
Yeah,
They traded him, or he went to free agency, or whatever. Something happened, and Winnipeg picked him up.
I
So
can't see Winnipeg winning this game.
we'll just leave it at that. We'll roll right on down
90%,
to
90%, 95% Vegas on that one, just because they're rolling so well. And I mean, they got two goalies that are just back and forth, and both of them are good, and they're just on a tear right now. Like you said, they're 4-0, so I can definitely beat 5-0 after tonight.
and
We got
Hellebuck had a
next.
bad game last time he played, hence why they're running Brossois tonight.
This
So
is
we'll
going to
see
be
what kind of support Winnipeg gives him in net tonight.
yeah.
Arizona versus St. Louis. Two
I gotta pick
backup goalies.
Arizona. I pick Arizona on this one. I don't
They
know.
got they got
It's gonna be a
Cooley playing for Arizona now. He's is it his second year or is this his first year in the league?
Cooley for sure.
First year, yeah. He was what, the draft at third?
I think so.
So he's playing. I'm gonna go pull up some lines here. I'm just curious. Line combo Arizona. So you got him centering his second line. He's playing with Zucker and
And
Marcelli.
another rookie. Another rookie. Yeah. So they have two rookies on the same line.
They got a decent third line with Bugstag and Kraus. I'm not sure who that Michael Carone or Carcone is, but their first line's been running pretty good. Clayton Keller's been playing great.
Goltz is another guy you want to keep an eye on fantasy too if you're going to pick up somebody that's always available. It seems like a guy is picked up a lot and dropped a lot. So, but he does get some points. He can have a good night for you.
Rookie Logan Cooley, 3 points in 3 games.
Yep.
You got Clayton Keller, 3 points, 3 games, 10 shots. Sean Jury, big pickup for Arizona. That
Hmm.
was LA's
I
defenseman
thought
that
he was still
was,
on Alley. I was kind of surprised they traded him.
yeah.
They kept
So
Doughty.
he's running their power play in Arizona now. He's getting
Hmm.
first line power play minutes.
As you can
Um,
see, Smoltz just dropped there. He's going to be available in the 20th in our league. So that's why I say he's a picked up and drop guy quite often in every league I find. So you might see him available one week and then not available the next. Keep an
and
eye on
then
him
you
for
got
fantasy night.
um, Matt Dumba. Was he on Arizona last year?
First, no.
Is this his first season? And he came here from
Mm.
Minnesota. Was he on
Yep.
Minnesota last year?
Hmm.
So that's a nice pickup too. I mean, he
Depends what you paid for him, I guess.
I don't know. Oh, that's not what I wanted to look at. I wanted to look at. Oh, doesn't tell me. Added from free agency. Oh no, that's just our hockey news.
Yeah, picked up and dropped.
Um, but anyway, go
Yeah,
back to
yeah. So
the
Arizona obviously with that one.
the edge goes to Arizona tonight. We got
Only two
Carolina
games left
versus
here.
Seattle. Two backup goalies potentially
Yeah,
playing in net tonight.
another backup night. Yeah.
Carolina's uh, pretty hot. They got a
Uh,
playoff contending team. Seattle struggling a little bit, I think.
the reason why Ranson is in is because the other goalie's hurt again. Anderson is always hurt every year. Hard guy to keep in your fantasy team. Carolina's got a good team. He's a good goalie, but he's always hurt.
Does Carolina
So
shop for a number one goalie
I don't know
at
what they do
trade
with him.
deadline?
I don't know
Because
what they do with him because they're going to need somebody if they're going to make a run. You can't depend on him being healthy. And
well,
is Brianta, is he the backup that's going to be able to hold the team together? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It might give him a chance. He's not a bad goalie. I just don't know if he's ready to be the number one again. But it was like that last year. They were struggling with him last year. Anderson. It's always hurt. But anyway, I think Carolina, I just think they got another solid team again this year, but it's going to be a close game. With a backup goalie, I've never seen this guy play, so could be good, could be bad. It's early to tell, right? You're going to have a lot of goalies that are just coming in and starting their first games, and it all depends on injuries as well. So I'm going to have to say Carolina is my pick on that one. But it's so hard now because there's a lot of teams that are so close together comparison wise. This guy even played a game yet. So, he played a few games. He's been in the league a while, so fortunately I've never heard of him.
so he played a preseason game and he had a 960 save percentage. Went
They
to a
played St.
shootout.
Louis. Yeah, played St.
Yeah.
Louis.
Well, whatever.
We'll find out tonight.
Yeah,
But,
we'll find out.
and then you got
So
Dallas
money's
and
on
Anaheim.
Carolina.
Dallas and Anaheim. I'm picking Dallas.
Yes. I
Ottinger
think
is just
Anaheim's
Ottinger.
still in a rebuild.
Yeah.
Dallas is trying to contend for a cup.
A little bit too much of
100%.
those guys because I don't really follow Dallas too much. Boston, I can't see them not winning tonight. Pasternak playing great again for them. Didn't think he was going to play as well without Bergeron, but he's on pace. Now this is going to be an interesting game. Colorado and Chicago. Now
Mrazek's playing lights out
he's been
hockey,
playing
man.
good. I was going to say he's been playing good, and Chicago's been playing pretty good actually. The team all around, kind of waiting for Bedard to break out. But
He's
it
got
seems like they're getting scoring from some other lines too on that team. So.
he's got 2 games played, 72 saves out of 77 shots for a 935 save percentage.
That's good numbers.
Can't complain about that for playing on a team that just sold the farm and is in a rebuild. And then Bedard, 3 points, 4 games. He's got 20 shots. Nice to see a young kid not scared to shoot.
But if you look at their scoring, look at their scoring, it's spread out a lot.
Yeah, Perry playing a role that you wouldn't expect Perry to play. And then Seth Jones, he's doing well. It looks like their power play's struggling. They got a couple power play points by Anastasio, or
Yes, that's the guy that played with you in the Oilers that time. He's super fast.
I always made fun of his name. I always called him Happy to See You.
Well, happy to see he's been playing pretty good for them. So.
Because I couldn't pronounce that name. So I was like, oh, who's that? Happy to See You.
Yep.
Tyler Johnson, big pickup. He's got 3
he's
goals
been there.
for
He's
them.
been there. Tyler Radish is there. Those guys are. I mean, Foligno was there. I mean, and that's this Jason Dickinson guy might be all right too. But Colorado, I think is going to take this one though.
If I had to
Just
bet
because
on McKinnon and Rantanen and Makar over Seth Jones, Taylor Hall, and Connor Bedard, I would go with Rantanen, McKinnon, and Makar.
Yeah, I can't see them. But I mean,
it's
never
hockey.
know.
You don't
It's
know.
hockey.
If your goalie misses the first shot, but it's in Colorado. Colorado has the momentum. They have the altitude of playing and practicing in a mountain, so the air's thinner. So I think Colorado always has an advantage on home ice over the opposing team, especially if the team plays at sea level. I think you're losing oxygen at a rapid rate, and your recovery from breathing heavy and working out hard. I think Colorado has that little edge just because that's where they live and that's where they practice. Um, just another thing that some people may not think about is
Yep.
playing at different elevations. Um, and it gives Colorado a big advantage at going to sea level where there's more oxygen in the air for them to recover a lot easier. Training in the mountains all the time is a big thing for athletes. Anyway, that
Yeah. Pretty much gives us a
hits.
sum up for tonight's action. Give a little bit of insight from us and a little bit of hockey fantasy going on there too. A little bit of insight, maybe possible guys you want to pick up, worst guys you want to avoid. Um, I just want to appreciate everybody taking the time to give us a watch, and if you can go throw us a thumbs up and maybe a subscribe there too, would be great, and keep us some support. We really appreciate that. I'll let Andre take us out here.
No, I agree. Like, subscribe, comment. If you like what you're watching, if you want to see more, if you want to share something else with us, an article, a highlight, a big hit, um, we want to watch it. We want to see it. We'll react to it. So take care, guys, and go Withers, go.